I started out as a hyperactive kid making weird sounds with my mouth.
Let's get funky.
Now I travel the world annoying strangers, but this time I get paid. This is the story of how I went from a broke beatboxer to building a six-figure business, all from an idea in my notes app. At 12 years old, I discovered beatboxing. At 13, I won my school talent show. That's when I realised this could be more than just making stupid sounds. I wasn't exactly Bieber, I was the guy entertaining people at Butlins, but it paid the bills quite well, I'll be honest. Then I was also on cruise ships for up to 4 months on Italian cruise ships during COVID, where I actually couldn't even get out of my room for 2 weeks at one point. That's a story for another day. I also did 4 months performing in America. It wasn't exactly fame, but it was consistent at the time. But as consistent it was in the summer, outside of that, it wasn't consistent. So I started busking. Some days I made £200 busking, other days I'd make 20 quid all day in the freezing cold. That was the grind. When COVID hit though, the cruises stopped and I started teaching beatboxing on Zoom. Then schools, then thousands of kids across the UK. It paid the bills, but I was still stuck. But yeah, literally throughout my life, I've tried everything. I tried rapping, battle rap, producing, DJing, boxing, cover teaching. I was spreading myself too thin and I didn't really have a focus. And then one day I saw a perfume ad on Instagram. I only actually wanted a free bottle from them. So they sent me one, I filmed it, and then they told me it performed insanely well. And that's when it clicked. I was like, oh, maybe this is the thing. This is the new thing. I always made videos and content, even when I was beatboxing. So I didn't want to give up on this dream because I've made videos since I was like 11 years old. So I didn't want to give up on the dream. Although I didn't want to carry on with the beatboxing, I needed to still make videos and content in some way. So I put my gig up on Fiverr, and then I started DMing every single brand I could think of with street interview ideas, and slowly it started to work. By March 2024, I finally had some savings, enough to book Thailand. The plan was simple: work, travel, and scale my business abroad. But I lost discipline. Drinking nearly every day, no filming, no training, just spending money on stuff I didn't need. When I first got to Thailand, for the first month I was there, I was locked in. I was doing Muay Thai camp, I was working, I was getting people back home working for me as well. It was going really well. But then I met up with a couple people and it went downhill from there. I'll be honest, we were drinking every single day. I lost all my discipline. I wasn't training, I wasn't filming. I was just spending money on shit I didn't need. The new money I made, it was gone. It was gone in a couple months. Expensive Airbnbs, parties, food, drinking, distractions. And by May, I was broke. No savings, no nothing. I had zero. I was supposed to stay longer, but May, I actually had to borrow money off of my dad for him to send me back home. And we started from square one. I had literally zero money to my name. I had nothing. This is June 2024. And yeah, man, I was embarrassed, bro. I haven't had to ask my dad for money for a long time, but I had to ask him. I had to borrow a couple £100 so I could just get back home. But when I got back home, I knew I had a lot of work to do. Because I was getting some nice momentum. I built this thing up and then it just went back to zero. I'm back to square one and I've got no money to show for it. And I owe my dad money now. But sometimes hitting rock bottom gives you the wake up call you needed. I came back, I locked in, bro. I'm not even joking, I locked in. June 2024, the very next month, I hit my first 10K. And it was kind of by accident. I just said yes to every single job that came in. Didn't realise how much it added up to. Usually I'd scrape by, but now I made in a month what usually it'd take me a long time to make, I'll be honest. Especially with the beatboxing. This time I built proper savings, I kept my head straight and decided I'm gonna go abroad again, but no excuses this time, no distractions, no one to blame but myself. This time I'm not going Thailand with all the distractions, weed, essentially. This time, we ain't going Thailand, mate. No way. We're still going Asia, so we're still going somewhere that's low cost, but I want somewhere that's more entrepreneurs. So, Bali was what I was thinking, because there's no weed and all that shit over there. It's a bit more chilled out. So December 2024, I flew to Bali, I locked in, coffee shops, outreach, gym, filming, Muay Thai, boxing, everything, man. I was barely seeing any of the sights. Everyone was telling me to do touristy things, but I was just locked in my room. At the start of 2025, when I got to Canggu, I was in a camera shop in Canggu buying a new lens. So before, with the beatboxing days, replacing something like a lens, like, you know, replacing like a £700 lens, back then would have been a nightmare. I went to go replace it. And then when I got there, a guy in the shop asked me what I do. I told him. The next day, we sit down for a meeting. This guy was rolling, and at first I thought, here we go, another online guru, Andrew Tate, scam, he's gonna take all my money, but I gave it a shot. I'm not gonna say how much, but I paid him 4 figures a month for 3 months, which, you know, was a lot more than I've ever paid anyone, ever. It was terrifying, but he rebuilt my offer, my website, my content strategy, but most importantly, he changed how I saw myself, and he made me see the value in what I do. So yeah, his promise was consistent 10K months, and the systems that he built. And I think since then, I think he's done it. I can't remember the last bad month I had. And then now I've got long-term collaborations where I can do that 10K month just from my long-term collaborations already. So let's fast forward to a couple months ago. I've been grinding, I've been doing my thing, I've been traveling, I've been going Miami, I've been going New York, I've been, you know, doing all these things. And obviously I was filming in Bali for different clients. And then I realized, I was like, oh, if I just tell people I'm going to places, they'll probably want to get some videos off me. So that's what I do now. I'll go somewhere and I'll tell my clients, I'm like, look, I'm in this place, I'm in that place. They're like, oh, get me some videos. So literally it's the best business ever because it just funds my whole lifestyle. Anyway, let's fast forward to me in my shed a couple months ago, and someone books a call in, and I don't recognise the name. Usually, anyone who books in a call, I've spoke to them, or my VA spoke to them, someone spoke to them. This one, we didn't know who it was, so I asked my VA, doesn't know. I asked another VA, doesn't know. I'm checking all my emails, I'm checking my Instagram, I'm checking everything. I don't know who this guy is. Then I put his name into LinkedIn. This guy is the CEO of LimeWire. I don't know if you guys are as old as me, but I'm a bit of an old man. So I actually grew up on LimeWire, downloaded a load of music. It was my childhood. And anyone that's around my age will say the exact same thing. My whole music taste was sculpted from these guys. And now they want to pay me money every month to make ads. And they actually want 30 videos. So this is a big contract. Yeah, karma's funny like that. Another client sent me 6K on Fiverr to fly to India and interview strangers about the internet. I brought a mate, I paid him, we filmed, I got paid, and I never even saw the videos again. But it was one of the best trips of my life. I was in India for 3 days. I think I spent more time traveling there than I did in there, but it was an absolute movie. And I'm not even saying that. It was a smoothie. And now I'm in Dubai. Next stop is Bali. Yes, we are going back. We're gonna go back to Bali, mate. First time we went to Bali, we leveled up. So second time, we're leveling up. Trust me. So yeah, my days are gonna be coffee shops, outreach, gym, chasing a 6-pack as well. I need to get a 6-pack because everyone in Bali's got a flipping 6-pack. And I can't just be walking around looking like a block. And, oh yeah, scaling the business as well. Yeah, we're gonna be scaling the business. That's what we're gonna be doing. Business. But yeah, this all started here, the Notes app. And now I'm turning it into £1 million business. We've done 6 figures for sure. Millions the next one. All from just asking strangers questions on the street. So if I can do 10 grand months off that, then I'm sure everyone watching this video has some value that you haven't tapped into yet. You've got value, you just need to work out a way to monetize it, work out a way to package it together so it looks nice. You just gotta say the right things. I'm doing the same thing now than what I was doing when I was earning 2K months. The only difference is I've packaged it better and I'm saying the right things. You got to tell these business owners what they want to hear sometimes. And Roland was the guy that helped me on that. Basically, I traveled the world annoying strangers with a microphone, but now I get paid for it. By the way, I've done a lot of talking. If you actually want to see the system that Roland built for me, check out my website, which is ryantravis.com. If you want to book a call, by the way, feel free to do so. You can book a free call on there. And if you want to find out a little bit more about me and what I do, the offers that I do for people, and if you're interested, if you've got a business, get in a call. We can talk business. Or if you want to do something like me, if you want to make content and you want to get paid for it, or you want to work for me under my agency, you can also book a call, ryantravis.com, and we can have a chat, because I know I can make people make money. All you need is a little bit of a talent, a little bit of value, and we can turn it into some cash.